Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. Muy buenas tardes. ¿Cómo están todos ustedes? My name is Mr. Moran. And here we are once again. And today we got some great information. We have some special guests. So today we're going to talk about a new product that has been out in the market. And it's related to drinking water and how you can have access to drinking water. And in this particular occasion, a special program through source.co, where you can find out and see if you can participate and see if you can qualify uh, for no cost. Hoy esta tarde estamos aquí con un programa nuevo, con un poquito de información sobre un programa nuevo, un producto nuevo que sirve para tener agua para tomar en su casa. Y lo más importante, que este producto es a no costo para usted. Entonces, hoy vamos a estar platicando y preguntando si es que usted puede calificar y en qué parte de California vive para ver si puede calificar para este programa. So, Clara, Kayla, thank you very much for being here and for sharing this important information with people out in our community. And actually, it's one thing that I forgot. Even though I just want to disclose that in no way Jose Moran or myself, I support or encourage any product out there in the market. We're simply sharing information and resources. And if someone out there is able to take advantage of this opportunity, by all means.
Well,
Hi,
great.
Clara.
Thanks so much, Mr. Moran, for hosting Kayla and I today. We wanted to share about our technology in this particular program, if that's okay. We know that as Californians, actually over 1 million Californians can't trust the tap coming out in their home. And that's due to a number of things, but most predominantly that occurs within the Central Valley. And that is most predominantly occurring in places where, you know, there's you're getting water from a well versus the city. And this particular program was established for the community members within the Central Valley to receive a completely free drinking water system that is an off-grid, solar-powered, actually creates drinking water from just the inputs of sunlight in the ambient air. And when we talk to community members today, a lot of the feedback we get is, this sounds, too good to be true, and this sounds like magic. And so I totally get it. I would say the same thing, right? So we just wanted to share with you and the community around Merced County that we're serving those community members, that Kayla and I are out there talking to homeowners every day and getting clean drinking water to themselves and their families, so that you don't have to spend money on bottled water and you don't have to question what water you're putting in your body and your family's body. You can actually own your own source of drinking water at your house.
Yes, well, thank you for that. And Kayla, do you want to share that information in Spanish?
Sí,
You
ya.
want to try? Okay.
Well, yeah. Este programa cerca de agua potable limpia. En este programa recibes 2 paneles de solares que hacen agua. Los paneles producen aproximadamente 8 litros cada día por su familia, y no necesita no necesita comprar agua en la tienda.
So Clara, something that really caught my attention when I first started to look into this particular product.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen it and I heard of it a while ago, that it was something very similar was being used in other countries,
Mm-hmm.
especially in the desert areas where water or drinking water, especially, is very difficult to get. And so basically, just to kind of give people an idea, what we're talking about is it looks like a solar panel, right?
Exactly. Yeah, that's
Okay.
right.
So, and it's collecting moisture from the air,
Exactly.
and then it goes through a system that is inside this panel, and then starts collecting it, and then you get a lot of moisture, and you get enough moisture to create enough water, and then later that water will run down into your house and connect it to a water
Tap.
fountain. Yeah,
Mhm.
you know,
Yeah.
and then you can just drink it from there. Is that right?
Exactly. The panels absolutely do look like, we call them hydro panels, and they do look like solar panels. And they use the ambient air, the sunlight, ambient sunlight, and the heat of the sun to basically collect the relative humidity from the air and create that into going from a vapor form into a liquid form. I'm sure some of your students are familiar with this process. And that very, very pure water is then actually ozonated and mineralized in order to make it taste good and keep it clean. And then there is a flexible line that is a separate tap that goes into your house. Typically, we put in a dispenser on the side of the sink so that you have access to that source water continuously for the 15-year life.
Yeah. Okay, I'll give Kayla an opportunity to share some of that information,
Sorry, Kayla.
or Kayla can just ask me like, "Can you please?"
It's okay.
You're doing a good job.
Los paneles producen agua usando el sol y el aire. El panel tiene un reservoir. Cuando agua recopilamos y I don't know how to say connect.
Conectar.
Conectar a su grifo y el grifo está en su casa o dejarlo afuera en el panel posterior.
Okay.
Yeah, homeowner can choose.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and so, okay, so it looks like a panel, and it's this particular project or this particular product needs to include two panels, right? Two separate panels to be able to do the work that it needs to.
That's great. Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yep, and it's for drinking and cooking water specifically. So the panels are about 8 feet by 4 feet themselves, and we typically put them on the ground. So in your backyard or on the side yard are typical places that we put panels. And the system will produce essentially enough for family of 4 to 6 in their drinking and cooking water needs.
Okay.
And I see a comment here from Anthony Chavarria. The water is created pure, and then it is continually kept clean, aka safe for human consumption and disinfected with the onboard ozonation system. So we don't actually put chlorine in the water, we ozonate the system so that it is kept very, very clean without that, chlorine taste that doesn't taste so good.
Sí, ahorita acaban de contestar una pregunta en el chat, si el agua estaba desinfectada. Entonces, cuando el agua es recolectada, no necesita de agregarle cloro para que pueda ser ingerida. Is water quality testing performed? Very good question. Clara or Kayla?
Yeah, absolutely. So water quality is something we take very, very seriously. And with that, we've been third-party approved by not only the National Sanitary Foundation, but also the Division of Drinking Water, to show that our water is higher than safe for human consumption. And we perform a water quality test upon installation. And then we get those test results back about 5 days after installation. So at that 5th day, we will receive the results and we'll be able to tell the homeowner, yes, your water is safe to drink now. The tap is on, it's running, you can drink it. And then on top of that, we monitor our panels. We're in 53 countries today. We monitor our panels 24/7 and can see the onboard ozonation system, make sure that it's working. And any ozonation system that say, of course, things happen. Say it stopped working, for example, the tap actually would turn off. So you wouldn't be able to access the water within the panel. So in that way, we're able to keep the water quality at a very, very high level and feel very strongly about that.
Okay. We have another question. Thank you, Anthony, for sharing that other question. What safeguards are built in to control ozone component?
Yeah, those are good questions, Anthony. Very technical. Our onboard ozonation system is it's a small ozonation system, and I would be happy to share some more details if you would like to ask, if you're eligible for the program on source.co/CCV. But we have lots of safeguards in place. As I mentioned just previously, if the ozonation system stopped working, the actual dispenser would turn off. But I want to keep it a little bit higher level just for the broader audience out there, if that's okay.
Very good question. Does the owner have access to the monitoring system?
The source team is the monitoring system. So we've got, and Kayla's actually on that team as well. So she knows, the work schedule is literally 24/7. So we've got someone there for you at all times. So
right.
It's our team that has access to that system, Anthony.
Yes. And something that I was able to catch, one of the things that I was able to catch is very important, that if something is not, if the levels or anything is not right with the water, it will shut off automatically, and then there will be no access until they figure out what's wrong with it and then fix it. Yeah. Something very important that I was reading on the website, which is also on the bottom banner. This program comes with 5 years maintenance with the program, and then even though the product is to last 15 years, you guys or your company or the program would include the first 5 years of maintenance at no cost. Mm-hmm. And then after 5 years, if the residents or the customers desire to continue with the program, then they are responsible for the maintenance after 5 years.
That's right. And then just kind of at an overarching level, I realized I didn't share about the program itself. So this program was actually funded through a nonprofit, community nonprofit called the One-to-One Foundation, where a donor, identified the challenges of water quality in the Central Valley, and One-to-One Foundation selected us because we were able to deploy these drinking water systems quickly in a way that wasn't really, affecting essentially going through permitting, going into the city and taking the time that it takes to get clean water to people. It takes a long time if you're working in those municipal environments. And so the way that the donor funded the program was exactly what you said, Mr. Moran, which is a 5-year, including operation and maintenance and warranty. And after that 5 years, it's actually our intent to raise more funding to cover the years 6 through 15 of operation and maintenance and warranty. However, we don't have that funding today, so we can't promise that. That said, we are not even taking, Kayla can attest to this, we are not taking any sort of payment information or anything from homeowners. who knows if you're going to live there in the next 5 years anyway, right? So that from our perspective, it's not a requirement to sign up to years 6 through 15 right now at all. There is no sign up. It's just all about, can we get you water now? And for the next 5 years, you don't have to pay a thing. We promise.
Okay, Kayla.
Yeah, no recopilamos ninguna información personal o de pago porque de primeros 5 años es completamente
Gratis.
Yeah, gratis.
Yeah. So, and actually, I think that's one of the biggest questions that most people are going to have, and that was one of the biggest questions that I had. Is like, wait a minute,
yeah, we're going to get you, right?
We always say, it's like, well, what's the catch? There's nothing for free in this world. There's someone has to be paying for it. If I'm not paying for it, who is? But so someone has already paid for it. Somebody has already donated those funds to cover, I think you said 1,000 households in California. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
1,000.
1,000 only, not 1,001. So 1,000. So first 1,000 people that sign up and qualify will be able to participate in this program. So now the other thing is, once we figure out and how it is a no cost to some of the residents because it was donated already, it's paid for. So how can people find out if they qualify? Because I know we talked a little bit about this before, that even here in Livingston, some areas of Livingston qualify, but another area of Livingston doesn't. And if we talk about Merced County, Gastine doesn't qualify, but some areas near Los Baños, they do qualify. Also LeGrand, some areas in Merced, Planada, Delhi, Stevenson, and so on. How can people find out if they qualify or not?
Great question. The website source.co/CCV, or call our phone number at 559-500-5009. We will be able to take down your information and look up if you qualify with your address. The way that the program is set up is to really serve the communities in need. And so what was established was a criteria where it's just based on location. There's no other criteria, where the location has to have been identified by the state of California as having a water quality risk. And that's through the state. And so that area is basically what is the qualification criteria. So we have that internally, and we're providing feedback to people that come and apply on our website, whether we are working in their area or we're not. And then I will say that this is just a start for us. In terms of the 1,000 homes, we are actively working with actually many other community organizations throughout the state to access grant funding and additional donor funding to broaden this program. So, just because you don't qualify for this program, if you don't, doesn't mean that we won't have a program in the future for you.
Okay. Kayla, if you want to jump in a little bit, and if not, I can assist.
Yeah, I'll let you take this one.
Okay. And so, perdón. So, una de las preguntas era de que ¿por qué, cómo es gratis? Y siempre decimos que nada es gratis en esta vida, pero no es de que sea gratis, sino que hay una persona o una agencia que ya donó la cantidad suficiente para el total de 1,000 residencias para que puedan participar y obtengan este programa sin costo alguno para los residentes. Y para calificar, para saber si usted califica, simplemente puede llamar al número en pantalla o puede entrar a la página de internet que está en la parte de abajo y ver si donde usted vive califica. Porque aún, por ejemplo, hay ciertas partes, ciertas áreas de la ciudad de Livingston califican y otras no. La ciudad de Gastín no califica. Ciertas partes de la ciudad de Delhi, de Los Baños, de Merced, Planada y LeGrand sí califican. Entonces, la forma más fácil va a ser llamar a ese número de teléfono al área 559-500-5009. Y ahí va a poder saber si va a calificar o no. The next thing is, and I think we have to make sure that when people call, they know, one, they have to be the homeowners. And if they're not, they need to have permission from the homeowner or the from whom they rent from to be able to have a program like this in their home. And the second question is there any data required or information from the applicants in regards to Social Security, if anything else in regards to legal status, because that's always probably one of the biggest questions. So, una de las preguntas que les estamos haciendo es para participar si se requiere información del Seguro Social o estatus legal, y creo que la respuesta es no, que no se necesita nada de esta información. Además de tener el permiso, si usted es el dueño de la casa, usted puede tomar la decisión, y si no es el dueño de la casa y usted está rentando la propiedad, tener el permiso del dueño de la propiedad donde se puede instalar. Is that right?
That's right. No, all we need the homeowner to fill out is their name, their address, and that they agree to essentially receive this gift from us. So that is all. No Social Security, nothing.
Okay. Muy bien. Sí, es exactamente como les había comentado, no se requiere nada de información. Lo único que se requiere es las ganas de recibir este regalo de alguien que ya hizo esa donación. So we have one more question. Thank you, Mr. Chavarria. One more question. Is there a periodic
Bacteriological testing? Yeah. Yes. Okay. Anthony must be in the water space because he definitely knows what he's talking about here. There is no periodic bacteriological testing that's done on the panels. Of course, we don't mind if you want to do that testing yourself. But again, the ozonation system is that safeguard there. That is what is providing the bacteriological defense, so to speak. And again, we've been doing this for quite a while, and the ozonation system that we're using is actually an off-the-shelf, I think, system. It's not a proprietary ozonation system, essentially, is what I'm trying to say. So it's a very well-tested ozonation system.
Okay. So ahí había una pregunta de que si existía una forma de examen bacteriológico en I'm trying to catch up. Un examen bacteriológico del agua cuando se acaba de instalar el producto, pero dentro de los paneles existe un sistema que previene y para mantener todo el agua a calidad. Y de nuevo, en dado caso que exista alguna bacteria o el nivel de los exámenes muestra de que no es el agua segura para tomar, entonces el sistema se apaga solo y hasta que se arregla el problema o la situación. So, I'm not sure if we covered everything about the program. Do you have an idea how long are you expecting to have those 1,000 people within the next month, 3 weeks, 2 months? I mean, obviously, the sooner the better. The people can inquire and see if they qualify, or even if they have more questions, they require more information, they can always call you guys.
Absolutely, we're always available to talk. We are trying to get all of the systems installed by the end of June. And that's a tall order, but it is a reasonable order. We recently completed 550 homes in the Navajo Nation in a span of about 4 months of active installation. So it is comparable. But we've been doing this about 3 months already so far. And I would say that if you have any, questions or thoughts, just go to our website, put in your information so that we can start you on the process. It takes probably about 4 weeks from end to end to get a person to come out and make sure that you've got the space for the panels, and then working that through our system, getting our installation team out there, and then doing that important water testing to make sure that the water is clean and ready to go and ready for you and your family.
Okay. Entonces también se habla español en este número. Kayla, ¿a qué horarios pueden llamar? ¿A qué horarios las personas pueden llamar a este número?
Sí, cuando llame al número 559-500-5009, lo más probable es que me llame a mí o a mi compañero de trabajo. Podemos tomar llamadas en inglés o español. Puede hacer preguntas adicionales y le programaremos una inspección del sitio como primer paso. Ya he tenido la suerte de ayudar a varias familias con este proceso y el agua ha marcado una gran diferencia en sus vidas.
Muy bien. Is there anything else? Is there any other information that we're missing that we haven't touched on that we forgot that we might want to share?
I don't think so, Mr. Reiner. Thank you so much for having us. We look forward to serving the community members of Merced.
Well, thank you. Thank you for the information. And more than anything, if you have questions, call the number on the screen, or visit and also visit the website, which is full of information, and hopefully members in our community have the opportunity to see if something like this is what they're looking for. If not, then they could probably leave that opportunity for somebody else. Well, thank you so much for making the time and for sharing this wealth of information to members in our community, and hopefully more programs like this will be offered in the near future. So thank you very much. Until next time, see you. This is Mr. Moran. Thank you, Clara, and thank you, Kayla.
Hasta luego. Gracias.